Have you ever seen Neymar cry like this before? Not after a heartbreaking World Cup exit, not after a painful injury, and not even after missing out on a major trophy. This time, his tears told a completely different story, one of humiliation, frustration, and unbearable disappointment. For Brazilian fans, the sight of Neymar breaking down was a reminder of so many past memories. We've seen him cry after Brazil's World Cup failures. We've seen him shed tears when injuries robbed him of the chance to shine. We've seen his emotions overflow when his dream of lifting the biggest trophies slipped away. But this was different. Neymar's recent tears weren't just about losing a match. They were about a deep wound to his pride. The humiliation came wearing the jersey of Santos, the very club where Neymar's journey to global superstardom began. He returned to help the team, to lift them up in difficult times, and to bring back hope. But instead, he faced one of the most crushing defeats of his career. After that shocking loss, his emotions spilled over in a way fans had rarely, if ever, witnessed before. Now, let's pause for a moment and think. What hurts a footballer more? Losing a trophy? Missing a chance to represent his country at the World Cup? Or being unable to save the very club that made him who he is? For Neymar, this was about the last one. His tears reflected the unbearable reality that even he, one of the world's most talented players, cannot carry Santos on his shoulders alone. The defeat was so painful that Santos decided to part ways with their coach immediately. Rumors began to swirl about who could step in, and even the name of former Brazil coach Tite was whispered. But nothing is confirmed yet. And honestly, even if Tite comes in, can a coaching change alone fix the crisis Santos finds itself in? Or will Neymar have to keep suffering the same pain over and over again until a real solution is found? Let's be clear about one thing. Neymar today is not the same Neymar of 5 years ago. He's more mature, more focused, and finally healthier than he's been in a long time. For Brazil's national team, this is exactly the version of Neymar fans and coaches were waiting for. A leader, a fighter, a player capable of inspiring others. But at Santos, he looks isolated. No matter how hard he tries, no matter how many times he dribbles past defenders or creates magic, there just aren't enough players around him who can match his vision or his level. Some people might ask, but Messi is lifting Inter Miami. Why can't Neymar do the same for Santos? Well, the answer is simple. Situations are not the same. Inter Miami's management has invested heavily to build a squad around Messi. They've spent money, brought in quality players, and created a strong project. Santos, on the other hand, has not. Neymar returned, but where are the reinforcements? Where are the signings that could help him? If you look closely, you'll find almost none. Expecting Neymar to do it all alone is not only unfair, it's impossible. And yet, Neymar has committed to stay at Santos at least until the next World Cup. That decision shows his loyalty and love for the club. But here's the harsh reality. If Santos continues to perform like this, can Neymar really afford to risk his fitness, his form, and his mental strength before the biggest tournament of his life? That's a question every Brazilian fan must think about seriously. When Neymar cried after that humiliating defeat, he wasn't just expressing his own pain. He was expressing the pain of every Santos supporter who came to the stadium expecting joy but left with heartbreak. After the match, Neymar himself admitted, "We played badly. The fans were right to boo us. They didn't come here to see us humiliated." These words cut deep. They weren't excuses. They weren't complaints. They were pure honesty from a player who knows he owes his fans much more than what happened on the pitch. As a fan, seeing Neymar in this state is devastating. We never wanted to see him cry like this. Tears after failing to win the World Cup? That we could understand. Tears of injury? That we could forgive. But tears of humiliation? That feels so wrong, so undeserved, and so painful for a player of his greatness. Some fans even wondered, what if Neymar had chosen Flamingo instead of Santos? Would things look different right now? Maybe. At Flamingo, Neymar would have had stronger teammates, a bigger project, and perhaps less pressure to carry everything alone. But he chose Santos. He chose to go back to his roots. And now he is paying the price for that decision. The big question remains, how long can Neymar keep doing this? How long can he keep trying to carry Santos without breaking down physically and emotionally? Neymar and his camp know the answer better than anyone. But from the outside, the picture is clear. This situation cannot last forever. If things don't improve, staying at Santos may not be a blessing for Neymar, but a curse. For now, both Neymar and Santos need to think carefully. Santos must figure out how to support their star. They cannot rely on Neymar alone. They must make changes, invest in quality players, and give him the support he desperately needs. Neymar, on the other hand, has to decide if his dream of staying at Santos until the World Cup is worth the sacrifice, or if it's time to protect his career in a different way. Because let's be honest, this version of Neymar, the mature, fit, experienced Neymar, is exactly what Brazil needs heading into the 2026 World Cup. But if he keeps wasting his energy in humiliating losses with Santos, will he really be at his best when the time comes? Or will the frustration and exhaustion take a toll on him? For now, one thing is certain, Neymar's tears have shaken the football world. They weren't just the tears of a player. They were the tears of a man carrying a club, a dream, and the expectations of millions. As fans, we can only hope that this painful chapter becomes a turning point. For Neymar, for Santos, and for Brazil. Because no one, not even Neymar himself, deserves to cry tears of humiliation. And now, I ask you, what did you feel watching Neymar cry like that? Did it break your heart too? Do you think Santos can turn this around? Or should Neymar make a different choice for the sake of his future? Share your thoughts in the comments, because this is a discussion every football fan needs to have.